China's smokestacks are finally cooling down, but it's not factory slowdowns making the difference. It's wind turbines and solar panels. Is this the moment when the world's climate future begins to shift?
Today is May 23rd, 2025. Let's go straight to the numbers. For the first time, China's carbon emissions are on a steady decline, and that's not because of an economic slump. It's thanks to a surge in renewable energy. Over the past year, emissions dropped by 1%, and in just the first quarter of 2025, the drop was even sharper at 1.6%.
Exactly. If we zoom in on the power sector, emissions fell by nearly 6%. That's not a one-off. In 2024 alone, China added 429 gigawatts of new power capacity. For context, that's more than the rest of the world put together, and 83% of it was wind and solar.
Just solar alone accounted for 277 gigawatts last year. That's a 28% increase compared to 2023. Now, clean energy supplies 39% of China's electricity, up from 34% a year ago. Wind has actually become the largest clean power source, producing 307 terawatt-hours. That's 13% of all China's electricity in early 2025. It's a major shift.
So, what's driving this? It's not just about building wind farms and solar panels. Last year, China invested over 600 billion RMB, about $85 billion in grid infrastructure. That allowed them to expand and modernize the transmission grid so renewable power could actually reach the cities and factories that need it.
And policy. The government's 5-year plan set out clear and ambitious targets. That gave investors more certainty, which led to greater investment and quicker technological progress. It's a feedback loop.
It does make you wonder, will this continue? Most experts think so. The latest Climate Action Tracker scenario expects China's emissions to peak before the end of this year, then fall by about 0.5% each year through the rest of the decade.
But there's a catch. Even now, emissions are only 1% below their peak. Heavy industry and transport are still tough to decarbonize. Sectors like steel, cement, shipping.
Yeah, those are real challenges. And then there's a global angle. With China, the world's largest emitter, now showing a real and sustained drop, not just a dip. Does that help international climate talks? Or does it just move the spotlight onto other major emitters?
There's also the issue of geopolitics. Trade tensions could affect how much China can import technology or export its own. And here's another question. As energy demand keeps rising, can they keep up this pace of renewable growth?
Still, the direction is clear. China's energy system is changing in a fundamental way, not just a short-term fix. This could act as a template for other countries, showing that rapid decarbonization is possible, even in a fast-growing, complex economy.
And it pushes us to ask, if China can make this shift, what's stopping others? Is it the policies, the investments, or something else entirely?
That's the main point. While the world's climate path doesn't depend on one country alone, when the biggest emitter starts to lower emissions for real, it's a turning point.
So, to sum up, China's emissions are declining, driven by record renewable investments and a stronger grid. Clean energy now provides nearly 40% of their electricity. The odds of limiting global warming have improved, and there's now a concrete case study of rapid decarbonization.
Thanks for joining us. China's energy transition could mark a turning point for the planet, or just be the beginning of a much bigger story.
Thank you for listening. This episode was brought to you by mynews.studio. You can try it now for free.